So first, this is not for attacks, right? You should not use it. You shall not use it for attacks or trying to hurt people through any of your part of existence or any existence or whatsoever. Pretty self-explanatory. So the Semette, Hystoglyph. That's basically the magic mechanism that was presented in the previous video. Now, with every magic idea and meditation, you can do something. You can make something of it. So, Semette, that's what we're going to discuss today. So this basically what we just wrote down, and it basically means to conjure up an element of it. It's an alchemic process on a magical meditation level. So it's the integration of something that I would call a cycle of use, meaning conjure up a sevenfold, or better said, a seven plate plateau, a seven projection, a seven picture, or something like it. Something that you can project things on without projecting into reality, basically, and using it. So the Siebenfläche, well, it is what this is. Well, I will explain how to do it, because that's basically this mat. It's consisting of a Siebenfläche. It's an alchemic idea of it. It's a plateau, and it is supposed to do something that conjures up the sense of stuff to that idea. So first, last video we discussed how to cause the root onto a ladder. If you didn't listen to the last video, which is 20 minutes long, listen to it. Don't think you can easily use this process without getting a little bit crazy. Magic is different, because it does inflict something on you. It also draws power. And furthermore, if you think that my wife here is not real, and we are different people or the same people, well, different people, yes, but if we are the same people, or if you just think by different that she's not there, you're a schizophrenic, not me. Good. So the root of this sense is the synthesis of something that is non-existent in the realm of possibility by a syntax, meaning the language you used to cause up the root into semantic being of the conjured ideas you drew around the letter, meaning to cause the root. For that, the alchemic process to grow, brought and bring this into existence is over in German, meaning by the reflection of inner calm, or the calamity by inner serenity, to sire, to see. And thus this will and can be canalized through the truth of seeing the possibility from the Hystoglyph. Now, what does it mean? Basically, if you want to achieve this process, this mat, which is there, you need something of an idea that will cause the non-existence, meaning something before it gets into the process of even manifesting or imagining, or something that is in between of these ideas, but not a sexual opinion or something like it. That you want to canalize before it starts manifesting and existing. Meaning that is of real relevance, because that you want to cause onto the root, to cause an alchemic essence that will then be of use for your magic system of meditation by use. Thus, if you're a person that wants to wildly imagine things on this, you can never use it, okay? You cannot use it, you're not allowed to. Point. If you think that this will give you a way out of the usual idea that this is not allowed, that you imagine people without drawing a simple picture of a person that's not able to be alive, ever can be alive, can be conjured up into life, or can be further imagined as a trait of something of it, which I never do. I just watch the existence around me. We do, and sometimes. Then this is not for you. Okay, this is magic on not the scale level as a war tool. Thus, that's not a war tool for imagination. The hystoglyph can be then a variable mechanism of becoming essential idea, meaning what is the connection of on to the root, meaning the connection of the root by connection that is drawn onto what you deciphered from the ladder by the non-imagined, conjured ideas around it to cause the root into something that you can work with. Thus, the first premise for using this, then, if you understood the previous sentence that was just mentioned, the possibility of real is there the intersub, meaning the subject of intersection, but not really intersection, meaning the interconnected whatever. So the non-imagined or never used for imagination sentence for fruit that is following up into the situation of truth of what is might, how to not do by any sort of attack, spiritual, physical, any sort of whatsoever, meaning not imagining, not projecting, not doing anything of the sort. How would you then use this concept if you don't plan to attack anyone? What's your spiritual, sensual, something like that sort? Project from the root, like you finished the thought, meaning where you didn't imagine it, when you didn't imagine that thought, you can finish that thought in all your ideas and emotions to it without the same idea in the color, unlike impossible existence. Meaning, this is the same idea. It would be bad if now that person with a color that has a body color like this, meaning a spirit color or body color, whatever you want to call it, would ever exist. Can you prevent that? Not really. Of course you cannot, but once that person exists, you shall abstain from using that idea. That's why you need to make this thing variable. And how do you do a color that is non-imaginable and will never reach to a person or any being or anything of existence? Because that's also dangerous, because it can be then connected to existence and really just damage yourself. Well, you imagine it flat without any fluctuation. That's a color that is impossible to be in existence, but only if the color is not yet in existence. So take a green, no fluctuation, no frequency, nothing of the sort. Meaning, this is also a topic of another video, a totally different video, because you can always cheat this process. That's the problem. The color then could be of yourself in flat. That could be done, but then people can imagine you. So there it starts, how you would know the color. So how do you do a color that is unlike impossible existence? Well, you take a flat line of no frequency. No, this can be used already against you. So how do you do a color unlike impossible existence? Well, how do you check such knowledge? How do you know that? That is a different topic. But it's fairly simple to know that. It's the word color itself. If you use color, it should work, but only if you're smart enough to do it. So basically a color, so something that is of color in no other idea than the base. And that should always work, but it's not necessary to should work. That's why this mechanism cannot implement it in forever in your spirit. It cannot be implemented as in forever. Okay, that's not a good idea. But if you want to still use this mechanism, which has its benefits, surely, thus take that color and integrate it in your physical body. The color that is not of possible existence, integrated, the color of not physical existence is possibly not but integrated in the physical body. So let then your spirit be in no imagined or something of that sort, attacked or attackable or attacking idea in separate idea to the physical. For that this will not be all that you aspire to, your part of which in thy body. No. Is a translate by thus color for an emit, meaning mit size. So what does that mean? Well, in not pure syntax, difficult to explain. So translate thus that which is this color is a for cast size by like frame for protect thereof unusable usable unusable use is that count anti-scheme by color. This is still not a perfect explanation, but like this you could fairly be untouched by any law of degree or something like it for it. Still, you can always find a cheat code to harass someone. That always works. But by this idea, if you're not imagining and don't use it as an attack tool, you should then be able to use this idea. So in syntax that is not protected by all degrees from everything, almost. Well, project from the root that you finished, like from the hystoglyph, the thought. The finished thought without imagination is still going. So a color unlike impossible existence. So a flat color like previously discussed in the previous sentences. Thus, then take that color and project it onto your physical body. Like the physical body would be some kind of tool, but never use it like this. Your physical body is very much important. It's you. Don't disintegrate it. Don't disregard it as something that will not harm you if you harm it. Okay? You possibly even want to die. Like me, I have fairly not experienced this much pain, but I, for example, know that if I would be a woman, for example, she knows it too, I would fairly immediately kill myself. And how did I check that? How did I know that? Well, for example, by pressuring my thumb. By pressuring my thumb. See? Myself? That is irrelevant. I said by pressuring my thumb. Works. By that I know that if something would pressure on me, meaning take my wholeness of my body away, by not something of like someone attacks me with a knife or something like it, that's a different story. That would then be of difference. Right? That would make a difference. So for that I would kill myself and would never be in existence again. If we want war, let's have war. No, let's not have war. Okay. We would. 100%. If you think you have a law and the right to that, you're arrogant and should not die anyway, because I'm not then the first one who you attacked. I mean, we were. 100%. That makes sense, hopefully. So integrate that in your physical body, this color. But also pressuring your thumb right now, I said I just did it. It's not a good idea because if you do it into truth, meaning experiencing all your experience, that can end up badly because you almost lose your sense of body and self. It's fairly not good as well. I don't lose my sense of self, but it almost gets me into the stasis point, meaning the point where your body is stabilized on something and you almost not feel your body. As in my whole body, I almost then just feel the pressure point of my thumb, meaning that is fairly bad. I can now take that away and pressure my thumb all the time I want to, but if you are in a different state of mind, like a peace, calm, full, not expecting any fight or any attack state of mind, that can be fairly relevant and bad. So let your spirit be in a separate idea to the physical. And what does it mean? Well, your physical body is then the tool, but don't disregard it as something that is not to be harmed, right? And for this, that will be all that you aspire to, part of which in thy body. Meaning, this shall not be everything, for this will not be all. Not will be all. For this, that will not be all that you aspire to, part of which in thy body. Meaning, if you conjure this plate into the frame and the size of how you want it to be it afterwards, it shall not take over your whole body. Your whole body should not become a play tool for yourself to project things on. Can be fairly imaginative. Even if you think it's funny, don't do it. It's dangerous. Also most likely not possible, but don't try that. Also, you always find a cheat code for anything. Which is not known in history. This is just a rational idea. Now, translate that color to a size of frame, meaning if you want a kind of plate or a quarter or a geometrical other idea or object of it, use that. Don't take too much of your body for that, and make it in such an imagination that you can think it away and it's just a part of you, or a part you can delete without integrating such of your spirit. Where we come to the problem, that's something you are most likely not able to know, and that's rather difficult to teach in my mind. Because for that you need to abstract this into so many possibilities that you need to see this as an unreal object of your memory and then use it again. And it's fairly difficult to do. Fairly difficult. Because if you try to do that, that object needs, in all cases, be unseen and unreal in your memory. That means you need to remember and memorize all of what you just projected into your body. That's how you then make it in such a way that it is not permanent. You know, that's the danger about magic. You can really change your whole physical appearance, your whole idea of yourself, which is great. Also, that's dangerous, eh? So translate that color to a size of frame. That's why I said use a frame, but not too less of your body, not just a point. Don't come up with that idea, not just a little point or no point. That's very dangerous for man, by the way. But otherwise also dangerous because you need to find a size that's, unlike a dick, by the way, that fits your body. Meaning if you have your hand and there where you want to project it in your palm, for example, it needs to be of some kind of size that doesn't harm you in any future idea. Even if you want to further work with this to be a projection field for more things you want to integrate in the cyborg-like body of yours, you know? And yes, with me this works. I have the projection field now. And the great thing is, once you implemented it, you don't need to imagine it. It's then there and you can use it. That's magic. It works. So that's the cool thing. But the bad thing is, if you don't make it impermanent as an imagination, it's permanent and changed unless you undo that moment. And could undo that moment, you know? Like that. So protect for unusable or unusable use an anti-scheme of color. Meaning, if you ever use this mechanism, for example, when I used it just first, I was almost unable to see my loved one. Because it's such powerful magic, in my idea, or at least had that effect on me. For that then, that's fairly bad. You don't want to be just serenely sitting in your calm of existence while ignoring everything that ever makes you happy. Well, that's very rather bad. So, That's all the dangers now explained. Now, how can you actually use this root? This how to example. Now, what does project mean? Well, form a mechanism, yeah, form a mechanism that orders the hierarchical no imagination, the heist or no imagination, no attacks with the glyphs in such of no attackable, meaning no bringing forth any bad of the same sort what just mentioned, idea to a circle, for example, a quarter, a cube, or something like it, that then makes an almost appearance. And thus, you don't use it for attacks or something like it. You see something like an energy coming from it. And that you need to project on the root, make the root be filled with this energy that you projected from this mechanism of your own, and then take that essence that you disassembled from the root and use it to finish the thought as a sentence. And no, nothing of this sort. So that's how you would use this mechanism. For that you need a mechanism that will allow you to use this procedure. So where did we write that down? Mecca, which is not Mecca, I wanted to write Meccan. This is where we wrote it down, in the middle, where I just changed something. And there it is important that you use the, wie gesagt, keine Attacke, keine Zierung oder Imagination. Thus, use then the almost apparent connection of the root in of itself. I said no, not and not you, nothing of the sort. Just if you have the thought, okay? This might have sounded evil, but if you have the thought, this will help you to not have that thought. It will not make you not have that thought, but it might help, might not. Then you just got an angry view. I mean me. No, hopefully not. See? Helps you make not the thought. Most likely. Maybe I was wrong. I'm sorry. Also don't try that now out. Don't project that energy of yourself now onto yourself, onto your body. That will really just end really badly if you want to fuck yourself. I cannot prevent that anyway. Okay, good. So, angel mechanisms protect you, yeah? Good. I hope you get there. But if you try to turn them off in any case, in any scenario, yeah, I can't help you anyway either. And no one can. So, to translate of then that color of what is supposed to be that of the Meccan, the order of the Hystoglyphs, which is not a hieroglyph, by the way. That then project onto that which was just explained, draw the alchemic process that was explained from it, and use what was in these sentences explained. Well, no attacks with it allowed. Thank you for listening. And still, it's dangerous, okay? Magic is dangerous. If this works, and it works for you, and you can use this, you know magic is true, first of all. Furthermore, though, what else is all true? That is besides the point. Because even if the world can have good aspects and you are well protected, you are never protected from what you can conjure up on yourself. You can, as an angel would work upstairs, work on that all day long. You can find all the ways of the mechanisms, all the ideas, out. Work with all the people, all the knowledge they have. You can always find a way to fuck.